Hey, y'all, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast, where live music and great stories take center stage. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Teton Guitars. Whether you're picking tunes around a campfire or taking the stage at your favorite honky-tonk, Teton Guitars delivers rich, soulful sound built for the journey. Learn more at tetonguitars.com. Now let's dive into some music and memories. Hey, music lovers, it's Byron with Musical Miles Podcast. We are here at the Westgate Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, during the National Finals Rodeo, and we are in the Zen Lounge, and I'm here with my new friend, Randy Hoyet.
How's it going, man?
Hoyet, right?
Yes, sir, Hoyet, which I actually learned in Louisiana. It's actually pronounced Hoyet, which is how it was originally pronounced.
Okay.
But I go with Hoyet. It's a lot easier.
So you got a little of that Cajun blood running through your veins?
A little
All right,
bit. Yes,
cool,
sir.
cool. So you live in College Station, Texas.
I do.
And you were hired to come here and play during the National Finals Rodeo here at Westgate.
Mm-hmm.
So you played the pre-party last night,
Yes, sir.
opening party, if you would. And then you're here, you're playing, how many nights are you playing?
2 nights. So last night and then tomorrow night on Friday.
Tomorrow night, on Friday night. Okay. Well, this is a cool place because most people don't know this is the best kept secret in Las Vegas during the finals.
Mm-hmm.
This is the old Hilton, originally the home of Elvis Presley, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Did you
a little more
realize
sense
that?
now. I saw some Elvis stuff, and then they put us in like the Elvis was the old dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
As a green room, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So Elvis he had a big show here for years.
Wow.
And so yeah, you're in legendary territory here.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
But you're also from Texas, and so there's some. I was just telling you before we got started, we just spent some time down there, and we love Texas and the Texas music scene. Some of our favorite artists have been forever, have been in Texas. I'm an old Jerry Jeff Walker fan from
yes, sir.
back in the day, and we got to actually interview Django, his son, at the BBR this year. And so anyway, there's some great musicians and great legendary songwriters from Texas. We started in Lubbock. We actually got to interview the boys from Waco, the Huser brothers.
Oh, I love those guys.
And they're
man.
playing here. They're playing here on the 12th. I think the 11th or the 12th.
Oh man, we're gonna leave right before that.
Yeah.
I love those. I love Zach
guys,
and Josh.
Those guys are so cool. I mean, they opened for a band that will remain unnamed, but we think they should have been the headliners. They're so talented and just cool dudes. So, but we started out in Lubbock, and then we spent 10 days in Texas and finished up in Oklahoma and got to interview Brian White from the Damn Quails.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
What a cool dude he is.
Yes, sir. Man, I got to see them one time in Waco at the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
I had a buddy of mine, Parker Ryan, was playing Acoustic opening.
Isn't Parker playing here?
He is. He's on his way. He's coming tomorrow. He'll play right before me on Friday.
Well, throw in a good word for me. I'd love to interview him as
Oh,
well.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we just love that Texas music scene, and it goes. I mean, you could spend months in New Braunfels, Austin area, in San Marcos, and never see everybody, and not even scratch the surface, and then go up to Fort Worth, and oh my gosh. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about your musical journey. How'd you get started, and kind of what's your deal?
Well, I was in high school, and I had played for a hobby. My family, they're all pipeliners, and so
Okay.
after every few months, they would come home and kind of put a little fire out in the backyard, and they'd be sitting around playing guitars and singing music. So I grew up around it.
Okay.
I never grew up with the professionalism of it. It was just for the hobby,
Right.
But when I started to get to high school, there was a local little band that asked me to play the little breaks in between their sets.
Okay.
And I signed up for it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And the night before I'd played that show, I had yet to get a guitar. I didn't have a way to get one, especially with financial reasons. My dad came home with the most beautiful guitar the night before I played that.
Oh, wow.
And that's still the acoustic guitar that I play today, but I went and played that little 30-minute break at a biker bar in Bryan, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So extremely intimidating.
Sure.
And it's exactly what it sounds like. It was a tough crowd.
Sure.
But I got to walk away from that with people being like, hell yeah, man, hope you come back next week. And
Sure.
it made me feel great. And I was like, man, I could actually play for people.
So how old were you?
18. Actually, I was 17 because I wasn't supposed to be in that bar.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's weird. In every state's different. In Montana, you can be in a bar at like 10 years old, running loose until
Really?
10 o'clock at night.
Okay. So there's a time limit.
Yeah, I think at 10 o'clock the kids got to be out. But we went up to some music festivals and did some interviews in some bars, and I'm like, where in the hell are their parents? Anyway, but yeah.
And then, man, from there, I realized that I wanted to do it, so I found any kind of coffee shop or anything in College Station to kind of just start to play. And then the big day, my Aunt Sierra, God bless her, she took me to Coetzel's first.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I can't remember. It was Coetzel's Festival. It was in Lindale, Texas. It was the first one. And we ended up getting front stage for that. And a guy named Chris Colson was playing. And he told a story about how he kind of got introduced and realized that it was a passion that he didn't realize he had.
Right.
And, man, it spoke to me in so many ways. And from that day on, that was, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And
well, I don't think people realize, I mean, people listen to music, but until you've had those live music experiences, there's nothing like live music, right? Because it's just a whole nother deal, right?
I agree.
And so, but yeah, speaking of Coe, I've seen Coe many times. He's been to Idaho, and he's played Highway 30 multiple times. That's probably where I saw him the most. Most recently, we saw him in last summer at Country Jam in Colorado.
Okay.
He was on the bill with, I think he played the same night as Jelly Roll.
Okay.
And, I wasn't sure how I would feel about Jelly Roll, but I love that guy.
Okay. Do you really?
Oh, man. I really
like a
do.
Very good person.
I think he's a great person, and I love his story. See, I love a good story to go with the music. And so, especially the songwriter side, that's why this has been such a cool experience to get to know artists and get to meet them and hear their backstory, right? How did you get started? Why? What was the deal? Well, we sat around the fire with the family, and we used to, sing some Take Me Home Country Roads and some old John Denver stuff and or some George Strait or Gary P. Nunn or whatever. I mean, Ray Wiley Hubbard, I've seen all those guys, love those guys. And so they have such a great story to tell.
They do.
And that's what music's about. It's a story and who tells it best. Right. And so, I love that. So who really, really inspired you musically?
Man, I will always, my hero has always been Cody Canada.
Yeah.
My entire life.
He's been on my podcast.
Has he really?
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
one of the
cool.
Probably fourth or fifth, maybe sixth guy I interviewed.
Oh man.
Yeah, early on, and we had horrible background noise. We were in a bar in Chalice, Idaho, and the background noise was horrible, and it just. But I fed it through a filter, and to this day, he's my most watched podcast episode.
Yeah.
And he knew they were doing the reunion, but he couldn't say anything. And it was interesting because you'll have to go back and watch it because I brought it up. I said, look, I've been a fan since the CCR days, right? And he goes, yeah, he said, and I said, I know that's kind of a sore subject. He goes, no, I'm over it. And, he talked very fondly of his bandmates. And, he just said, look, I was really hurt when we broke up. I loved it. I loved what we'd done. And they had a huge success, toured with Dierks Bentley, and actually Dierks used to open for them, and then Dierks got famous, and then they opened for Dierks.
Wasn't Cody and Dierks pretty good friends?
Oh, they were very good friends, and that's why his son is named Dierks.
Right.
Yeah,
Man, that's cool.
And I've
too.
actually interviewed the kids, so Dierks and Willie, and their band Waves in April.
They're so nice.
And
that whole
Joe,
family.
and Shannon, I've got to meet him and interviewed Shannon as well, and they do the School of Rock, and,
yes sir,
which is such a cool story, in itself, but those kids are when we were there, they opened for Cody at Green Hall.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This must have been was it recently?
A month ago.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then the next day was we saw Jack Ingram there.
Okay.
And Billy Joe Jones. Do you know Billy Joe?
Oh yes.
The little blonde. She was just named emerging artist in Texas.
Oh really?
Yeah. And she's going to be here. I'm hoping to get to interview her on Monday.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work all that out. So
yes, sir.
There's so much goes on here in Vegas at the NFR. Have you been here before?
I have not. This is the first time, and I had no expectations but man, the amount of musical culture that's here, and not just musical in all genres, but in Texas country music.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's kind of incredible.
Well, you can't have rodeo without music, right? I was a rodeo announcer for a number of years, and so I had a vast selection of music that I used, and had a laptop that was full. Back in those days, you had to download it onto the laptop and sort it out.
Sir,
Now I could go. It'd be easy to be a rodeo announcer now, but the music culture is just incredible. And then the rodeo, there's so much going on here. I've been here 25 years in a row.
Wow.
So
you're a professional with this.
I got this town wired, and yet there's so many changes. It's always evolving and something new restaurants and new stuff. And I mean, I could go back, 25 years, 30, 40 years ago, back in the day when you could get a shrimp cocktail for 99 cents and you could go to a buffet for $3.99. You can't do that anymore.
No, and if you can, you better tell me where it's at.
Yeah, because it's an expensive town to be hanging out in.
Yeah.
But this is a value right here. Westgate, they've got great drink specials, and free Texas music.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't get any better than this. You can come in here and listen to Steve Helms at 4 o'clock play, and we got to see Steve play in Fort Worth at the Cloud Covered Sunday fundraiser right when I was down there at the same time, Cody, Canada. So we spent a week in that New Braunfels area, and then we drove up to Fort Worth and spent a night and got to see Steve and a bunch of other artists. That Jack Nilsson that we talked about,
yes, sir, from
Station. And then we went up to Perry, Oklahoma, and interviewed Brian White from the Damn Quails. And so, anyway, we had a great trip, 4,000 miles, and we saw 47 artists, whether it was full bands or individuals, on a stage with. I mean, we had music overload.
A lot of stories to hear.
Oh man, a lot of stories to hear. We only got to interview 10 of the artists, but nonetheless, it was just phenomenal. So
I bet it was.
Yeah, but you live in such a. I kid. I said, New Braunfels, Austin, San Marcos. I said that is a target-rich environment for musicians.
Oh man!
If I wanted to sit down there and do interviews, I could interview every day, all day long, every day for months on end.
Oh yeah. At any given time.
And there's just so much talent. And you guys are extremely talented. I loved your set last night. We didn't stay for the whole thing because we're old and we have to pace ourselves in Vegas. That's the one thing you learn. You come here and you kind of overdo it.
Yeah, we had a late one last night, and I slept in. Put those blackout curtains over the window, and that was a mistake there.
Yeah. So wait till you get old, and then you can't sleep, no matter how black the room is. I'm awake at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning.
Oh, no, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, it's cool to get to meet you. So what do you got going on? You got some original stuff you guys have done? And
yes, sir.
And so let's talk a little bit about, because I did go on your Spotify and listen to some of your music this morning. So let's tell everybody where they can find your music and what it's what your plan is, what you got going on.
So as far as genre, man, it's kind of like a southern rock blues is the best way that I could really explain it.
Yeah, I got a little of that bluesy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bluesy stuff. I
like that.
Especially in the acoustic.
Huser Brothers have a little of that as well.
They
Yeah,
do.
a little of that bluesy stuff.
And they also have a very soulful vocals.
Yes.
And I love Josh's voice. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But we have that 4-song EP that was acoustic. I did that when I was 19, so very early on. Just something out there. People to go back home and listen to. And then we did our first full band single, Notices, which is a pretty rock song. And then we've got another single that came out, Drawn, which is kind of on the softer side. But both of those songs are actually going to be also on the new album that we're about to come out with. So we finished up recording, mastering, mixing, everything for this new album.
You just haven't released it yet.
Haven't released it yet. And it's full band debut album. I have yet to come up with a title, but
all the same guys that are playing with you here.
Yes,
your guitar player, your lead guitar guy is
Jimmy Heath.
Wow,
he's amazing.
Yeah, I took a little bit of video last night, and I'll try and tie it into this podcast when I do this, when we release it, and it'll be probably a couple months out. But
yes, sir.
Nonetheless, I got a little bit, and he's just so amazingly talented. And your vocals are spot on.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Jimmy, so my drummer, Ethan, he's also the manager of 301 Productions, an independent label out of Dallas.
Okay.
It's actually his stepdad. So we were kind of trying to find a guitar player, and we were going in the studio, and we knew that he was an amazing guitar player and he's very smart, very theoretical as far as guitar. He's not just a feelings. He's what's right and what is wrong.
Right.
Which comes in handy. And we brought him into the studio to do notices, and he was kind of laid back on that one, just playing a lot of hard rock power chords, And then we got to the softer song, which is Drawn, and we let him run loose with his guitar and his guitar pedals in there. And we realized how amazing. Like, I would come in with a song, but he would make the song go from point A to point B, and it was completely different, yet exactly the same. And it was just exactly what I was listening to in my head before it would come out, and I couldn't quite do it on my own.
Sure.
He's just amazing. I couldn't talk any better about him.
I think that really, truly, that's what makes a lot of songs really pop is the lead guitar stuff and those riffs and being able to, and it just I'm a wannabe guitar player. I tell my listeners get sick of hearing me say this. I started at 15, didn't stick with it, but a year ago, 1st of December, I picked up the guitar and said, I'm going to force myself to learn. So I play every day, and I suck, but I play every day, and I love it. It's very therapeutic for me, and I just really enjoy it. So, and I'm an old man, so I wish I'd have stuck with it years ago, but I just have such admiration and respect for anybody that can play that instrument. Because they really know how to make it talk.
Yeah, and that's what Jimmy's so. I could talk all day about Jimmy. I love him to death.
Yeah.
Great guy. And
he's your drummer's stepdad.
He is.
That's awesome.
He's a fireman out of Dallas.
Well, I love the fact that a lot of these bands, even the Huser brothers, they've got a father-son on their in their band.
See, I've played. I've played in Corpus Christi with those guys. I think it was Brewster Street.
Okay.
And I never knew that was also father and son. The guy who's playing
the accordion.
Yeah.
He plays the accordion and the keyboards, and then his son plays the bass.
See, I had no idea that was his son.
You didn't know they were father and son?
And I've hung around him plenty of times, but
you hang out with old Byron. I'll connect the dots for you. I don't know. I don't know very many people, but I know a lot of people. I know.
Yes, sir.
I actually I know too many people. That's how this happened, right? So Cody Oden, who's the promoter here for this whole deal at Westgate, the NFR. We have a mutual friend, and my friend in Oregon, who I didn't know Cody, introduced me to Cody over the phone. He just goes, hey, this is a guy that's doing a podcast. He needs a place to do it. And Cody goes, yeah, come on down. So this all kind of came together. But I've told my children their whole lives, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So we'll make these things happen. A lot of my interviews have come together because of I know somebody that killed somebody. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So anyway,
that's the music industry. That's all it is who you connecting with.
Who you connecting with. And that's exactly right. Whether it's this side of the thing or the promoter or the musician side and the singer-songwriter, And we've made some great connections just in a matter of months. But we've been music fans and music lovers for years, and we've gone to Mile Zero Fest in Key West and Jackalope Fest in Oregon, Highway 30 in Idaho, the Braun Brothers reunion. We've been to a lot of Country Jam. I love the smaller, more intimate deals.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So
yes,
anyway, well, cool. So when do you think the new album's going to release?
I am shooting for February or March.
Okay.
Again, with artists, man, I got it all done, and I'm like, this could be better. This could be better, and I think we're just gonna have to put it out because I'll always be wanting to change it.
Yeah, it's never gonna be perfect. This podcast is very raw and gritty.
Yes,
Trust
sir.
me, we it's not polished by any stretch, but we're getting better every time we do one. And so the struggle was the audio and then the video. Doing better at getting video and lighting. I wanted to set up some lights in here, but actually after we got done watching it, this has kind of got a cool feel to it.
Yes,
the
sir.
look. Anyway, but we're getting better, and so but. About the time, let's stay in touch because maybe about the time this might be February before we release this. Anyway,
Sure,
so maybe
sure.
we can do it in conjunction with that.
Sure, yes, sir.
So stay in touch with us and love to follow your career.
Yes,
and next
sir.
time we make it down to Texas, we'll make sure we figure out where you're playing and come watch a
Yes,
show.
sir.
And
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get to see you again probably tomorrow night here
Okay.
because you're playing the after party because Kenny Fiddler is playing
Tonight.
No, tomorrow night.
Oh, is he playing tomorrow
He's Friday night. Yeah, he's Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, wait a minute.
I think it is.
No,
Because it's him and Jacob Bryan Marshall tonight, right?
Tonight. Yeah. Tomorrow night. Ned Ledoux's playing tomorrow night and Saturday at the and we got to interview Ned Ledoux. So
Oh, did you?
yeah, we just released his podcast Monday.
Okay.
And he just released a new single. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, guess who? It's One Hand in the Riggin', and it's a duet with Chris Ledoux.
Wow.
His
Okay,
dad's
yeah, I'm
been
going to
gone
have to
20
check that
years.
out right,
Yeah,
right after
it's-
this.
So Bren Hill and another guy. I apologize for not knowing the guy who co-wrote it with Bren. Bren's cut it. Several people have cut it, but Chris fell in love with it and did the vocals on it, like in 2005, right before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So and then they, thank God for modern technology and the digital world we live in today. They've been able to mix this, and Ned's done it with his dad. So how cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if you know his story at all, but he was a drummer. He was not a frontman.
Really?
He never sang for anybody until after his dad passed, and it was just a fluke deal. You got to go watch that podcast. It's good.
Yeah,
it's a good
I
story.
definitely will. I did not know that at all.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this. We get to hear those stories that people don't know. We know Ned Ledoux, we know Chris Ledoux, and Ned sounds like his dad, but some people never heard Chris. I mean, they, they've just like Ned, and anyway. But it's just cool to hear those stories and figure out how this all ties together. So anyway. Well, listen, man, it's been cool to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Enjoyed your music last night. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. Now I got to go look at the schedule and remember who's playing. Because for some reason I thought Kenny was playing. I still want to say it's him tomorrow night.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you. I could be wrong.
Well, listen. You wouldn't be the first time been lied to. Do me a favor, grab that guitar. I'm going to have you play us a song. So this is Teton Guitars out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. They've been really gracious and kind of sponsored us a little bit, giving us guitars to have the artists play and autograph. This is the first time we've had an acoustic electric, so
Okay.
we're kind of new to this. If you want to turn it on up there on the top, there's a power button somewhere. Did it come on? Yeah. Okay, give it a strum. Let's see. That's me. I got it. No, that's. All right. So, set it up. Tell me a story. What do you got? What are you playing for us?
Okay. Man, I love playing this song. So, about 4 or 5 months ago, I realized that I have never really written a love song.
Okay.
I just couldn't do it. I'm not. A
Don't
huge
have a
fan.
girlfriend?
I do. I have a great girlfriend, and she's here with.
She's here with
Yeah,
you.
so it's not a lack of love. It's definitely not.
Okay.
And that's what kind of drove me to writing this one, is I had never written a love song, and I felt like this girl kind of deserved one. And so I want to play that for you, man. It's called All I'll Ever Need.
Okay.
I'm getting lazy, I'm getting comfortable, too soft, yeah, maybe, but it's not at all my fault. She's got me changing my ways,
I used to be cool. Yeah, I had records on the wall. I used to have my own space, but now I've got none at all. I'm just saying now, babe, 'cause there was a time I couldn't find what I needed most. But here you go, my heart and soul, and I need you to know that you're my sunrise in the morning. You're my daydream when I'm alone. You're the tape when my heart won't stop breaking. You're the innocence when I'm grown. You're the leaves that fall in the winter that I can't seem to keep off the ground. You're the gift when nobody is giving. Yeah, you keep my world turning around. Baby, you're all I'll ever need. Yeah. And I don't get no rest, 'cause sleeping in ain't for me. But you'll be pissed if you can't sleep till 3. I'm just playing now, babe, 'cause there was a time I couldn't find what I needed most. But here you go, my heart and soul, and I need you to know that you're my sunrise in the morning. You're my daydream when I'm alone. You're the tape when my heart won't stop breaking. You're the innocence when I'm grown. You're the leaves that fall in the winter that I can't seem to keep off the ground. You're the gift when nobody is giving. Yeah, you keep my world turning around. And baby, you're all I'll ever need. And baby, you're all I'll ever need. Yeah. Oh no 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 no. Da 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 da. Baby, you're all I'll ever need. Thanks,
That
man.
was awesome. Thank you so much. Grab that pen and autograph the back of it for me. That's such a pretty. That's a spalted maple. And
That is pretty.
yeah.
So this is out of Idaho?
Idaho, yeah,
Okay.
Teton guitars, and we also there's a little bit of a story on the. Let me unplug that. Get that out of your way. We did a podcast interview on there, about the company just recently.
Okay.
So they've been really very gracious. So this is the third one they've given me. The first two are hanging in my office. They're covered up with autographs. So. They're staying in my office.
Yes, sir.
This one we're giving away. Okay. So, yeah, if you would share a little bit about this with your followers and friends on your social media, and so we're going to give this away at the end of the finals. So Monday the 16th, we're going to go home and we're going to do a random drawing. We got a deal that's going to do a randomizer. But so if they'll go to the website.
Right.
There's a couple of qualifications. You got to follow us on our social media. One of our, doesn't matter which one, Instagram, TikTok, whichever one, and then go to our YouTube channel and subscribe.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do a drawing for this deal. But yeah, share it. We're trying to get more followers.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to monetize this thing
Yes,
at some
sir.
point.
Yes,
But
sir.
it's been really fun. We've interviewed some great artists, and if they haven't followed us or seen any of these interviews, some great interviews on there. Django Walker, Cody Canada, Jeff Crosby, Darcy Carlson, Muzzy Braun, Gary Braun. Gary's not on there yet. We haven't posted it yet. But we've got a lot of artists that we've interviewed. Like I said, Juliana Rankin, Ryder Grimes. Ryder's going to be back in here. He's playing here this week. I don't know if you know
really?
Ryder. Do you know Ryder?
I don't know. I know of him.
So he's had 2 number one on Texas radio, 2 number one hits on Texas radio. Really talented young man. We got to interview him in Green Hall.
Oh, dude, I get to play there on the 21st of this month.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, it's our debut show there.
Dude, it is such a legendary, cool venue. Oh, my gosh. And I tell everybody, people look at me like, Green Hall, what are you talking about? Listen, if you're anybody in Texas music, you've played Green Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
and if not, you want to.
You want to, right? Yeah. So you got, it's such a legend. We actually interviewed one of the bartenders or the bar managers, and he talks about the Willie door. Do you know the story about the Willie door?
I don't.
So the only way to get to that stage is you got to walk through the bar, through all the people, right? There's a little room in the back, but there's a restroom. That's where the men's room is kind of the green room, and then but anyway, Willie didn't want to do that, so they literally went out back with a chainsaw and cut a hole in the back of the stage for him to get in. It's called the Willie door. Yeah.
Okay. See, and I've been there. I had a buddy, Jordan Nix, who played there, and I went with him.
Yeah.
I didn't play, but I got to, see that side stage, and he was opening for Stoney LaRue. And
so Stoney's
through.
such a cool dude.
Oh, yeah. And
there's another one I'd love to interview.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was cool to see that. I did not know anything about that Willie door.
Yeah. You got to kind of know the deal, but you can go back around behind the building and you can see where but that's true story.
Okay.
Yeah, because Willie didn't want to have to come through because they packed the place when Willie's playing there. But they only, I think, sellouts 800 tickets.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. Well, the night we saw Cody Canada there with The Departed, and his kids opened for him, the Waves in April, because we interviewed them that they that was a sellout.
I got you.
So and it's not crazy. I love those kind of venues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, just such a cool deal. But hey, man, thanks for taking time to sit down with us. It's always cool to get to meet new people and make new friends and follow us. If you're ever in Idaho or you want to come up that way, holler at us. We know the venues up there. We'd be happy to kind of help you.
I've got some family. My girlfriend Riley, she has family in Idaho that we go see.
Where at?
At Preston, Idaho.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
That's not very far from us.
It's not. Okay, next time we go up there, I'm gonna call you.
You call me. You call me. We'll trade numbers. Make sure you get a chance. But you come up there because there's a really cool little venue called Bone, Idaho. Their sellout is 200 people, and it's an outdoor venue. It's really cool, and but the Wilder Blue has played there.
Okay.
Jason Boland played there this summer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, they've had some cool people. Jeff Crosby's played there. Reckless Kelly, Cody Canada played there with Muzzy, and just not too long ago at a guy's birthday party that I was at. And anyway, it's just cool. So, yeah, you get up there, come see us.
For sure.
You're always welcome.
Yes, sir.
All right, dude.
Nice
hey, thanks for taking the time.
No
hey,
problem.
for Musical Miles Podcast, I'm your host, Byron Duff, and we'll see you somewhere down the road. Adios for now.